Letter 52, Camp near Orange Courthouse, Virginia, dated August 14, 1863. My dear Georgie, yours of 30th last month came to hand on yesterday. I would have written to you much oftener than I have since we have been here if postage stamps had not been so scarce. I have just returned from Orange. It was doubtless a pretty place in the former days of peace. A man on post not far from my tent has just shot himself accidentally in the leg. Both bones are broken. He is now being carried to the surgeons, who will amputate his leg immediately. It is quite common for men to shoot themselves accidentally or purposely. Accidental wounds are generally in the hand or feet. I have never known one through the head or heart. L.C. Fox is sick. Will be well in a few days. He is not confined. 3 others of the company are puny. Minyard cut his foot a few days ago and not be able for duty for 2 weeks. All the rest from our neighborhood are well. J.B. Martin is in excellent health, looking better than he did when he left home. I have not heard from McComb since the arrival of Fox and Deason. I'm expecting his arrival every day. No news from those we left at Gettysburg. I am fearful we will hear bad news from some of them. General Meade's army is being recruited and reorganized, and when order to Richmond is made, it will be made by a large army, but you need not fear or dread the consequence, further than the loss of many valuable lives. They can't take Richmond. Our protracted meeting prospects much good, though no conversations have occurred. I have never seen more interest manifested than is here manifested in the cause of religion. Renfro is, I think, the best preacher I have ever heard preach. I have heard as good and probably better sermons preached than I have heard him preach, but I have never heard any person preach such a succession of good sermons as he has preached since he has been with our regiment, being well adapted at the time and place. I have no regimental news of interest. We are getting good rations of beef and flour. I crave nothing better to eat. Rations have been better this year than they were last year. We were ordered a few days ago by Major Robinson, commissary of our brigade, to pay for our rations in advance. We held a meeting and resolved not to pay for our rations in advance, but that would pay for them as they were issued to us. My beef cost me 80 cents a day, flour 25 cents. A day's ration of flour and beef, $1.05. We can't save much money out of our hard-earned wages. A monthly pay of a private will only buy 1 bunch of envelopes, 2 quires of paper, and 2.5 plugs of tobacco. The enormous prices for which we pay for everything are occasioned by the timid, disloyal, and speculative members of the Confederacy. I am impatient for justice to be meted out to them. I hope many deserters will avail themselves of the offered opportunity to retrieve their characters by returning to their companies and making good soldiers. Many of them I'm truly sorry for, men who have large families dependent on their labor for supports. We have many ugly reports in the Army of how badly treated are the wives and children of poor soldiers by the wealthy and speculators. Many have believed those reports and have applied for furloughs, which have been denied them, have been tempted to visit home regardless of consequences. This class is small. The great bulk of deserters are worthless characters, whose conscience are no checks to their desires to do meanly. All that constrained them from robbing during peace was fear of punishment by law of the land. Those deserters in Jefferson ought to be hunted up with dogs, shot down wherever found, or hung to trees wherever caught. I don't think the deserters will interrupt you. Remember that the same God who saved the devourment of Daniel by lions, the destruction of the Hebrew children from destruction by the consuming flames of a fiery furnace, who was with David when he slew Goliath, still reigns and is the same good and merciful God he was then. To his guardian care and protection, I humbly commend you, my dear Georgie. Your situation troubles me very much, but I can't remedy it for better. Let us be hopeful that the war will soon close. Remember me to all the family. Your husband, Elias Davis.